Ouais. Hello everyone, and first of all I have to apologize for subjecting you to this excruciating experience. It took only 20 takes for us to get this right. My assistant is going to record the whole thing. Today I'm going to cook paella. Paella is a very famous dish from the Spanish cuisine. It's one of my favorite dishes. It's something that I'm confident that I can cook well. It's not very expensive, it's not that cheap, but you know, it's affordable. I'll go through all the ingredients in just a moment, and I'll explain everything that you need. The whole dish takes about an hour to do the whole thing, but I'm absolutely sure that it's worth it. Right, so this is all that you'll need. You need a cutting board, you need one onion, you need a knife obviously, then you need some vegetables. I have carrot, peas and corn over here. Then the star of the dish is the seafood. There's some squid over here, there's octopus and shrimp. Now I also bought bigger shrimps because you'll need them at the last stage of the dish. You need parsley, you need tomato puree, you need rice, then you need some oil, you need garlic powder. The best thing to use would be garlic, but I don't have any garlic, so I'll use the powder. You need paprika. If you can get smoked paprika, it's even better. Then you need salt, and last but not least, you need an elephant full of black pepper. You'll also need some lemon, but you'll use that at the end for the garnish. While I'm cutting the onion, I've already got a pan full of water. Because I'll need to cook the seafood over there, and that's how I'll make my fish stock. You need the fish stock so you can put it in the rice, and you need one frying pan for the onions. Right, so I'll turn the heat to medium high heat, and I'll add the seafood. At first, it does smell a bit weird, but I assure you it will be very tasty at the end. Right. Now, for the whole process, you'll be using a spatula. Don't use anything made of metal for the frying pan, because it will scratch the surface, and then your non-stick frying pan will become very sticky. So I'll tell you the best way to chop an onion. You just chop it in half first, and then this is what you do. You make one cut over here, and you make one more cut over here. Then as you're holding it, try to make some cuts like this, because this will allow you to finely chop the onion. Right, now once you have done that, this is how you hold the onion, and you just finely chop it. What the onion should look like. Then you just turn on the heat to medium high, and you pour some oil. Now it would be the best option would be to use some olive oil, but I don't have any. This works good as well. It's not perfect, but it's okay. And then you just put all the onion in the frying pan. This has been cooking for about 5 minutes. By the way, I put about 200 grams of seafood, and there's 200 grams of shrimp over there. So first it will take about 3 or 4 minutes to cook the onion. This technique is called sauté. So we need to sauté. In other words, we need to sweat the onion. Once you put the onion, just put some salt. You need some pepper. Then you just stir. So you do this for about 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, your onion should look like this. That's when you put the garlic powder. You don't have to put a lot, you know, just a little. And then you take some paprika, you put that as well. Now, as you can see, I'm not using any measures, you know. Cooking for me is not a science, it's art. So, you know, whatever feels okay, you just do it. In the meantime, you can see that my fish stock is boiling over here. And at the top, on the surface, there is like a white foam. Those are the impurities. Don't be alarmed by that. You know, you can always just use a spoon and throw it in the sink. I'll turn off the heat for this, and as I mentioned, I'll just use a spoon to just throw the black foam, the impurities. You don't need this. Now this is ready. This is ready because it's okay. So now you just stir the onion. I normally use fresh tomato. I grate one whole tomato and I put it in the onion, but today I don't have it, so I'll just put 2 spoons of tomato puree. That should be enough. And then you just stir it again. You stir everything together. Now, it started smelling a bit, so it smells like onion and seafood. So this is the time when you need to close all the doors to, you know, to your room or the bedrooms. Just
and open a balcony door.
And open the balcony door, yes, very important. Now, once you're done with this, you know, you can just stir for about 30 seconds, but then you need to add the vegetables. Now, as I was saying, paella is a Spanish recipe. There are people who fight over the recipe. Some people say that it started in Valencia, and there are different types of paella. So it doesn't have to be seafood. It can be chicken or rabbit paella. And in the original recipe, they use. I'll just turn down the heat to medium. In the original recipe, they use bell peppers. I told you what I'm going to use now. I'll just put it over here. I really like using corn, carrot, and peas because it adds so much to the color. It looks much better like this. You just fry everything together. When you finish stirring for about, I don't know, like 30 seconds, that's the time when you need to put. That's the time when you put the seafood into the mixture over here, so it starts frying as well. I'll use my normal spoon. If you have other cutlery, you can do the same. So you don't be careful. You don't put the fish stock. You just put the seafood over here. It would be much faster if I had other tools. I do actually have one in my drawer, but I don't know the name in English, so that's why I'm not. Right. You can see that the seafood is also already inside. You just stir everything together. To be honest, I suppose that you could just eat it as it is now without continuing the recipe, but you'll see that it will be even tastier. So. Now, this is a crucial part of the dish. You need to layer everything like this, so you need to make it flat. And this is the time when you stop moving all the ingredients inside. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to add the fish stock slowly, so it covers the whole mixture. I suppose this would be enough. I'll just put everything. And that's when you take the rice. Now, there's a lot of rice over here. You don't need to use as much, but I'm not very good with measures, as I've already mentioned. So I'll just, use the whole thing to cover the whole surface, and that's when I'll stop. Probably what you need is like 1 cup of rice. I have already washed it because I wanted it to release the starch. If you don't wash it, it will become a bit sticky. So you just. So I just put all the rice inside. What you can do is just like do this with your spatula so the rice is distributed evenly, but you don't mix it, because what you want is that onion to stick at the bottom, because I'll tell you at the end I'll tell you how to make a thing that they call sokarat. It means that's the burnt rice and the burnt onion at the bottom of the frying pan, which is incredibly tasty. Now, this is, I don't know if you've heard about this, it's called saffron. These are saffron threads. It's not powder, you can buy it as powder as well. It smells, I don't know how to explain, I don't know how to explain it. It smells very exotic. It smells a bit expensive, you know. So you just put some of the saffron in the liquid, because what it needs to do is infuse with the liquid. What the saffron does is it infuses with the liquid and it gives it a very nice smell, a very nice aroma, but it also gives it color. It doesn't have to be used only with seafood, it can be used with a lot of meat as well. Now, I'm going to, after 3 minutes, this has been simmering for about 3 minutes. This is the time when you place the shrimps on top of it. The original recipe requires mussels as well, but I couldn't find them, so I just took shrimp. Now, for the people who don't know, there is a vein at the top of the shrimp over here, which could be easily taken out by a knife, but I don't think it will matter in this recipe, so I'll just place it on top of the rice over here. One important tip is that you need to take out the shrimps out of the freezer about 20 minutes before cooking, because if they're still frozen, they will drop down. They will drop down the temperature of the paella, and it won't cook as nicely as you want it to. Now, when I finish placing all the shrimp, we need to cook this for about 10 to 15 minutes. This has been cooking for about 13 or 14 minutes. Now, I'll tell you a tip. This is the time when you just put the heat to very high and you cook it for 1 minute, because for that 1 minute, the bottom layer of the onion and the rice will form that socarat. That's what they call it in Spanish, and you know it's the tastiest part of the paella. So it will cook like this for 1 minute. After a minute, you'll see that first of all you have to turn off the fire, the heat. Now you can see that there is still a little bit of liquid over here, but that's what it should look like. So now it will take only 10 more minutes to finish the whole dish. As you can see, the liquid, there's some liquid over there. Now you need to cover it with an aluminum foil, and the rice will continue cooking. It will actually steam inside of the aluminum foil. It's very hot, so you have to be careful. I'll just do this. I'll just use another one. Now this process takes about 10 minutes, and when we do that, when I unveil it, we will just garnish with some parsley and lemon, and it's completely worth it. So you have to do this. So 10 minutes have passed. I'm going to unveil the final result. It should look like this. As you can see, it's steaming. And now for the garnish, I've already chopped some parsley. Now this is a lot of parsley, but we both like a lot of parsley, so you don't have to do the same. You can just do this, and then you use 4 lemon wedges like this. So when you're done with the garnishing, you can serve it in a plate. This is not, I'm not sure if I should use this one. Never mind. So just to show you what we've cooked. And you put it on a plate. Now, I suppose that this would be perfectly enough for about 3 people, maybe even 4. So once you do that, you can see that there is the burnt onion over here. That's the socarat, the best part about the dish. Then you just squeeze some lemon over it, and then you just taste it. Let's see. I'll just try to get a bit of everything. Really delicious. So it took about an hour to make the whole dish, but I promise you it's worth it. And if you have the time, and you do have the time because of the situation, try to do it. I think that your parents will be very happy. You can even charge them if you do it. Bye.